We all dream of taking a little of our dream vacation home with us, and Alexander Scott did just that. Combining his love of food and fond memories of childhood summers spent in Italy, he opened his first restaurant, La Lanterna, in Letchworth, a garden city north of London. Alex, or Alessandro as he prefers to be called, has hired his best friend Gavin, girlfriend Emily, and a feisty Polish sous chef, Aldona. But he's been forced to remortgage his home and max out his credit to deal with debts of £180,000. And it seems his inexperienced dream team isn't working.
Does he know what he's doing out there?
We'll have a walk up the road because we think we may have got the wrong place.
Alex is confident that his food isn't the problem and aspires to reach Ramsay status as a chef in the future. But his low standards may mean that's a tougher goal than he realizes.
I am so fucking glad they can't see where their food's coming from, how it's cooked, and what the fuck is going on behind the scenes.
As Chef Ramsay arrives, he's impressed with the warm and welcoming exterior. When he heads back into the tiny kitchen to meet Alex, Gordon is clear about what he's hoping to find in any authentic Italian restaurant.
Simple, fresh Italian ingredients.
Instead, he finds packet mixes and vegetables sourced from the local supermarket, which are then pre-cooked and heated in the microwave. Sous chef Aldona admits that she doesn't actually do any cooking. Her last role was working in a tax office, and she has no real interest in food. Not a good start. It's Saturday, the one busy night of the week, and Ramsay joins customers in the dining room to sample the modern Italian cuisine. As he crunches on a packet of broken grissini, he takes in the dated decor, which he describes as fake, plastic, 1980s trattoria. Not a fan then. Chef Ramsay begins with a greasy minestrone soup, which is followed by salsiccia di figato, which he describes as disgusting. He finishes with frozen amaretto cake that's clearly not made on site. Gordon heads back to share his opinions and tells the quiet chef and a smirking helper that the whole meal was so dire it was actually upsetting. He's also unhappy about the filthy state of the kitchen. Ramsay is told it is cleaned weekly, which he doesn't believe. It looks like the disgusting pans and moldy vegetables could make someone sick, or get the business shut down. Gordon is also disturbed to find pot noodles on the shelf. He can't believe that any real chef would eat dehydrated noodles coated with artificial flavorings. As he leaves for the night, the irritated chef walks past Alex's BMW in the parking lot, complete with its arrogant A1 chef registration plate. The next morning, as he's driving to Lanterna, Ramsay hears a radio ad for the restaurant. It's described as serving exceptional food when only the very best will do. It's time to check out the fridge, and Gordon's disgust at the rotting food and dirty surfaces is interrupted by a visit from a pest controller, who is initially mistaken for the health department. Ramsay is at least reassured that they have never actually had any rats. Once the kitchen is clean, attention turns to the food. Gordon stands back and observes Alex, who works at incredible speed, but doesn't seem to get anything cooked. It turns out he's drinking 5 Red Bull caffeine drinks a day, which explains the frenetic pace. Alex's lazy reliance on frozen and packet food is soon explained. He's a keen golfer who would rather be on the course with his best friend and manager Gavin than in the kitchen prepping for service. Customers begin to arrive, though Gavin has no record of their booking. They quickly leave, worrying they have the wrong restaurant, leaving the manager with an empty dining room once again. Back in the kitchen, Alex tells Gordon he was taught to cook by a well-respected Italian chef. Ramsay struggles to believe that any true Italian would use such poor ingredients, and goes to track down this mentor. It turns out he's now driving a cab, after many years as a local chef.
And obviously went very well because now you're a taxi driver.
Chef Ramsay would like to relaunch the restaurant, but is concerned that Alex's huge debts indicate a history of bad financial decisions. That could definitely include his car and personalized number plate, which he bought for £46,000 just 2 weeks after starting the business. And this was 20 years ago, too. Alex admits that he loves the car, but doesn't need it, and when Gordon questions his priorities, he agrees to sell it to fund a new stove. To help out, Ramsay even calls celebrity chef friends Anthony Worrell Thompson and Jean-Christophe Novelli. Sadly, Neither of them is interested. In the kitchen, Gordon tries to take the team back to basics, and challenges them all to make a pizza, with the best being added to the menu as a special. Taking to the streets, Ramsay gathers some locals to test them out. Calling one of the visitors undernourished, Gordon correctly guesses that he doesn't eat meat.
How long have you been vegetarian?
About 8 years.
Reassuring him that one of the pizzas is meat-free, Gordon offers him a slice, without realizing that the base included Parma ham. When he breaks the news that the guest's favorite slice actually contains meat, Gordon and the team struggle to contain their laughter, while the now lapsed vegetarian calls them mean. It's time to throw out all the packet sauces, reduce the menu, and add some authentic, fresh dishes. Service starts, and Gordon encourages Alex to stay calm. He's also hoping that front of house team Emily and Gavin, neither of whom have any industry experience, can up their game to support him. Alex is coping well with the busy dining room, until Gavin allows 40 diners to arrive at the same time. Alex waits anxiously for the orders to flood in, and is soon in trouble. Once again, he's rushing around, without actually producing any complete dishes. Calling the chef and manager cowboys, who are playing at running the restaurant, Ramsay is frustrated that they are wasting a great business opportunity. The next day, Gordon decides to give Gavin some training in a couple of his own strongest skills, shouting and swearing. To toughen the manager up and give him some authority, Ramsay provokes him, urging him to stop being a lost little boy and show his profiteroles by shouting back, which he doesn't.
Look, there's no one here! For fuck's sake, we're in the middle of a field!
Clearly loving this challenge, Gordon happily plays the waiter on the receiving end of the furious dressing down. Preparing for service, Alex agrees to smarten up his image with a shave and manicure. Next, Gordon turns his attention to his taste buds. Ramsay gives Alex and Gavin blindfolds, and they sample 3 pasta options to pair with a new swordfish dish. Along with blue cheese, he offers them oil and fresh chopped herbs, and the dehydrated curry flavor pot noodle he found days earlier. Both pick the last option, much to Gordon's despair. It's time to visit a genuine Italian restaurant, which produces fresh and authentic cuisine in a kitchen smaller than Lanterna's. As they sample the delicious ravioli and sage butter, Alex assures Gordon he wants to produce food of that standard himself. Gordon is still unconvinced, but on the way out, once again attempts to sell the expensive number plate. It's another no. While the car hasn't sold to provide much needed funding, Gordon is still keen to revamp the restaurant. His plans to paint the walls a darker color immediately bring him head to head with Alex's girlfriend, who likes the light walls and encourages him to reject the new decor. Alex sides with Gordon, and the dated look is on the way out. As the chef works on a more rustic and cost-effective alternative to the greasy minestrone soup, the tables are finished with elegant settings, and vibrant art is lifted onto the walls. The team gathers to prepare for a busy service with a dining room fully booked with local dignitaries. Orders start to come in, but food is slow to leave the kitchen. After an hour and a half with no food, customers joke about ordering breakfast instead of dinner. Ramsay summons Gavin and tells him to start pushing the simple starters and ready-prepared specials to reduce the pressure. It works, and Gordon is proud of the manager for stepping up in a crisis. The atmosphere quickly becomes more relaxed, and Chef Ramsay goes back to encouraging the young chef in his own special way.
I bet you overcook it.
No, I don't.
I bet you fucking do.
Gordon is happy with the more confident owner's food, and the diners are enjoying their meals. For the first time, Ramsay seems more positive that the restaurant will succeed. When he returns 6 weeks later, he's greeted by a shocked Aldona.
You had a dream about me last night.
I thought you'd have neighbours.
I killed you.
Shout at me again.
You're not wrong there, you know that.
He's pleased to see there are no pre-prepared vegetables, the surfaces are clean, and Alex has been busy preparing fresh, homemade almond tarts and ravioli. With a rediscovered love for food, he feels he's learning and improving every day. But will the food live up to the hype? Sampling a couple of dishes from the reduced menu, Ramsay is impressed with the taste, texture, and perfectly cooked linguine. He describes his meal as lovely, and feels the local town might not be ready for the talented young chef. Alex reveals he has managed to pay off £20,000 of his debt, and is taking a wage for the first time. But he still hasn't sold that car, and is hoping that Gordon will one day come back and call him an A1 chef. It's only been 6 weeks, but the future certainly looks brighter. The Lanterna episode of Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares was filmed in 2004 and aired in May 2005. It achieved 7.3 out of 10 on IMDb, making it one of the more popular UK episodes. Viewers warmed owner Alex and his team, who were clearly out of their depth, but apparently willing to learn. The young chef was given credit for listening to Gordon and sticking to his changes in the weeks after his visit. However, he did receive a fair amount of criticism for the flashy sports car and personalized plates, which told the world he was an A1 chef. The press and viewers both agreed that would have been an arrogant move, even if he could tell the difference between a Ramsay pasta dish and rehydrated noodles, which he couldn't. Alex's faux Italian name change was also gently mocked online. Despite calling himself Alessandro to the Alcohol Licensing Board, British Alex's Italiano Ristorante should have been a Ristorante Italiano to make sense in his adopted language. Oops. Fans pointed out that despite his flaws, Gordon was clearly rooting for the young chef because instead of getting angry and shouting, he was just sad. And when Chef Ramsay is quiet instead of screaming, it's really bad. Speaking of shouting and screaming, one of the viewers' favorite moments in this episode was Gordon's training session with restaurant manager Gavin. Many fans were jealous that Gavin received a private masterclass from the expert insult thrower himself, while others just found the setup so awkward it was funny. It's fair to say the aggressive management style didn't come naturally to nice guy Gavin, and some viewers suggested that Ramsay's coaching should be a little less one-size-fits-all. Yelling certainly seems to work for Gordon, but Gavin's repeat performance of finding his profiteroles in front of the kitchen staff certainly didn't seem to win him much respect from either the celebrity chef or his peers. Unusually, when the episode aired in May 2005, the manager and owner weren't the ones labeled the villains. Instead, it was Gordon himself who received negative press following his visit. The incident involving the vegetarian diner who was fed meat pizza caused a huge uproar in the UK press. At this time, Gordon wasn't known for his tolerance and support of the vegetarian community. In 2003, Gordon admitted to deliberately giving a chicken-based soup to a table of vegetarians in his restaurant. So when the episode was aired, during National Vegetarian Week, viewers were quick to criticize his part in the prank. And the timing led most commentators to label what happened a stunt rather than an innocent and unfortunate mistake. When the incident occurs in the episode, it appears that Gordon is initially unaware that the pizza contains meat, though moments earlier we had seen him watching the pizzas being prepared. What there's no confusion over is his later reaction. Ramsay and the Lanterna team find the mix-up hilarious, pointing out that the vegetarian has now been converted and hasn't come out in a rash. Viewers were clear in their response. The prank was seen as totally unacceptable, and there was huge sympathy for the man involved from both vegetarians and meat eaters. If Gordon was hoping for some backup from his celebrity chef friends, he didn't get it. Many called his actions unkind and disrespectful, and even Alex himself didn't seem to offer much support in an interview soon afterwards. Gordon didn't apologize and doubled down 2 years later when he told a newspaper that his biggest nightmare was one of his children being vegetarian. Ramsay seemed to have stopped laughing by 2012, when he reprimanded Sal from Mama Maria's for serving a pork-based sauce to a vegetarian. And his new attitude has now completely changed. He's vocal about his love of vegetarian and vegan food, whether that's for personal or business reasons. We're sure he would look at the Lanterna incident very differently today. Back to owner Alex. Is he still building his restaurant dream at Lanterna? Sadly not. The restaurant closed in July 2005, just 10 weeks after the episode aired. The $4,000 a week profits dropped away and the business filed for bankruptcy. A previous customer left a belated review in 2014, stating that they weren't surprised it had closed, and there was nothing in its place. The building has since been taken over by a doctor's surgery, and the frontage looks very similar, but the large windows have been frosted for privacy. As for Alex, he changed career and became a car salesman. Yes, that's right, his failed attempts at selling his own car to fund the restaurant didn't seem to put him off. In fact, it looks like he may have been dabbling in car sales on the side while running Lanterna. But when the restaurant closed, he started taking it more seriously. In 2006, he returned to education, adding a bachelor's in automotive retail dealership management to his previous catering qualifications. When he graduated in 2010, Alex joined Traka Automotive, which provides key management systems to improve security at car dealerships. He's still developing sales opportunities there today. Maybe he could try selling Gordon something fun to add to his collection on the side. Whatever the future holds for him, we wish him well.